Well, good morning. For those of you on the West Coast and for those of you in Hawaii and other folks around the area, we are excited to do this for you today. We've been working on this one for a while and it got rescheduled a couple of times. There's always something that comes up. Either it's our fault. Sometimes we get a little ahead of ourselves with beta testing and we have technical problems. And other times we have little issues related to the industry. We had a webinar last, let's say a couple of weeks ago that we rescheduled because of Accountex, and we've got QB Connect coming up and what have you. We're trying to accommodate you where we possibly can. So in any event, we're here today and I'm excited about this. And this is an interesting webinar because what we're doing with this webinar is we're giving you some tools that you can use by yourself to help build your presence on the web. And a lot of people may not know that Google tools are available to them and are required for you to be able to make your presence available on the web. There are a number of ways to get more people to your website, but you also want people to pick up the phone and call you. And interestingly enough, the way that people search for anything today is usually through Google search. And when they do that, the results that they get are going to prompt them to call or not, visit the website, whatever it might be. I can imagine myself right now driving 4 hours to Bakersfield to my son's hockey game. And I can't exactly remember where the location is. I've got it in Waze and I'm driving to it, but I kind of want to see, I want to call them real quick and ask them a question, whatever it might be. So I touch my phone and I search for the ice station in Bakersfield. And I see results, and the results are a phone number, a website, their hours of operation, photos of other people there. And I touch it and I get everything I need. And it's wonderful. And because I travel a lot with the kids and the family going to these different ice events, we're going rink to rink to rink to rink. And sometimes they're in a very interesting area of town, if you will. So in any event, having access to that at your fingertips is just really, really, really useful. And it's because somebody took the time and configured themselves to be seen. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. How to configure your presence on the web so that Google will provide better results for your audience and the public. I'm Eric Greenspan. I am the founder of 74 Systems and schoolofbookkeeping.com. I run the Ignite program. I have a lot of fun. You can learn more about me at ericgreenspan.com. Real quickly, as we get started here, remember, if you do have a question as it comes to you, use Q&A. Q&A, if you wish, can be anonymous. Q&A is a feature at the bottom of the bar. This is how you ask questions and I can answer them. If you use chat, it's a little harder for me to use chat because chat gets moving sometimes. So it's easier if you put real questions into Q&A and then just back and forth fun stuff in chat. And remember that chat's visible to everybody. So if you need to ask something in private, you want to use Q&A also. And please vote in the polls, whether you're here for CPE or not, please vote in the polls. And remember that our events are recorded, although the recorded event does not grant you CPE credit, only if it's live. So on select events, if it's live, we offer CPE. You must vote all the way to the end to get your CPE credit. And we will send you your certificate automatically. All right, so the first question is, are you here attending for CPE? Please answer that very quickly and we will continue on. As you're answering that, I will move on to my favorite slide. Are you achieving all of your goals? And I know that's not possible. It never happens. None of us do it. Don't set the goal or the bar too high, but make sure you are achieving some goals every day. Do you have enough good clients? I mean, let's be honest. Are your clients good clients? Mine are. And when they're not, I change that. Excuse me, just a quick second. We'll close the window. Okay. So good clients are important. They inspire you. They make you want to come to work. They make you, feel good about what you're doing. If you don't feel that way and you don't get satisfaction, find good clients. You deserve it. Are you making enough money? I mean, why else are we here? If you're here to solve the world's problems, then do it for free. If you make a lot of money, give it away to charity. We lost Hugh Hefner yesterday, and that guy made a lot of money, and not necessarily probably in some people's eyes in the best way. But you know what? Most people weren't talking bad about him on Facebook because he was a pretty decent guy outside of what he did for a living. He gave money away. Whatever floats your boat. The guy made a ton of money, but he also gave a lot. So don't feel guilty if you're making too much. Pay your bills, get great health insurance, and give the rest to charity if that's what you need to do. And have some fun, because you must do what you love. All right, so today we're going to be talking about 3 areas of Google tools that I want you to focus on. And the first one is, and now, I mean, come on, raise your hand, your electronic hand, if you know what that logo is. I guarantee you, okay, not bad. So somebody actually knows what it is. Feel free to put in chat if you want to take a stab at what you think it is. I would love for you to tell me. You don't have to. You can put it in Q&A if you're shy, but I don't think you are. Go ahead. What is that logo? Nope. Okay. So let me tell you what it is, just so that you all know that it is not Google Marketplace. It's close. Want to take another stab at it? It is Google My Business. Whatever that means. I don't know how Google has gotten so big and built this brand around terrible brand marketing. But something's working for them, right? When you own the web and you own search, I guess it doesn't matter. And that's the premise here. This logo, as bad as it may seem, is very important to you. It gives you this. Remember what I was talking about earlier regarding the ice rinks. So this is my listing for School of Bookkeeping, one of them, as it appears to me logged in. So you won't see the part where it says your business, but I wanted you to see that. You'll just see the part on the right that shows you photos, logos, website links, directions. Send it to your phone is new. You won't see edit your business information. Well, you might, but you won't be able to. See my address, phone number. You can click on it right there. That's really cool. And then down below, you'll also see structured data under schoolofbookkeeping.com. You'll see courses, pricing, about, and a variety of other things that show you that we've taken the time to lay this thing out the best we can. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause that, and I'm going to bring up a browser, and we're going to do a demo, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, I have a folder. I am uber organized, and I have a folder called Marketing. I use it for myself, and I use it for my clients, and it starts with G Suite. I do have an Office 365 account. In fact, schoolofbookkeeping.com is there, but we have both because we need both. We need both for a number of reasons. So I use both. So I have a G Suite account, which gives me access to Gmail and Drive and all the docs and all that cool stuff. And it allows me to authenticate through a lot of the Google tools. And I'm going to focus on Google My Business right now. So as I click on Google My Business, I can go ahead and sign in. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of other little tricks. If you're using a Google Chrome browser, as I am, and you're logged into it, as I am, you will see, I'm going to go ahead and sign out of it, and I'm going to sign back into it for you so that it's just me. And there's from last week's webinar. I just used one password to add my password automatically. Okay, so now you see that I'm logged in as Eric at 74systems.com. And by logging in, I have access to a lot of the Google different apps that I want to get access to. And sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. But you'll notice here's my account, which isn't much. Here's Google Plus, which isn't much. And as I scroll down, I start to see the ones that I'm really interested in. And you can move these up here, and sometimes they stay and sometimes they don't. It's not a perfect system. But these are some of the ones that I use on a regular basis. Now, I just wiped and reinstalled my computer last night, so this is a fresh browser. And you'll see my account is local for this login. My Business, there's that logo, Google My Business. And then admin is for G Suite, and AdWords is for marketing with pay-per-click. All Google stuff, right? That's why having a Google address using G Suite is useful. All right, so anyhow, this is Google My Business. And by logging in here and clicking this, I can go directly to it. The other way would be to Google My Business, or go to google.com/business, at least until they change it again. They're always making this more interesting on how you log into their tools. And when you get here, don't gawk at the fact that it's pretty hard to recognize where the heck you are. I mean, I don't really understand the difference between, let's log into G Suite. And let's log into Google Analytics. You can see all of these really, I mean, they have a little logo here in the top left, but their logos aren't even consistent. This one's Google Cloud G Suite, and this one is Google Analytics Solutions, and there's Google, and it makes my head spin. So I just wanted to make sure you understood that it's not just you. It is a bit confusing. They're trying to make it, I think, more fine-tuned. Again, what I like to do is just go to a blank browser, log in as me through my Google account into the Google Chrome browser, which also allows you to carry your passwords. And although I don't use the passwords anymore, but it allows you to carry your bookmarks and things throughout all of your Chrome browsers on any device. So that's good to have. You can start mail right here. And then, of course, again, when you click on the 9 box, you're going to get a variety of options. So I'm going to click Google My Business. And it's going to take me to a list of all of the accounts that are managed by my email address. You can see my clients are in here and I'm in here. And each one of these is, like I showed you earlier, let me go ahead and Google School of Bookkeeping by itself. The results that you see right here are a result of creating this here. Now, if I go in and I manage this location, I'm going to show you how to create one in a second. You'll notice that I've added the appropriate content that's necessary to get my site what is called verified. Now, when you first set up a Google My Business account, you add the basic information. It's not rocket science, okay? And I'm going to take you through it. But when you're done, sometimes it's kind of like coming back from Mexico when you push the button. Sometimes they'll let you verify depending upon other connections and other trusted relationships you have with Google and other sites and what have you. And sometimes they'll send you a postcard in the mail a week later and make you type in a code to verify you. And they're doing that because they want to make sure that your address is truly yours. By the way, this is not Google related, but if you have a Facebook page, please check and make sure that your phone number is verified. It's a very important process. It helps you become noticed on Facebook. If you have a Facebook page, go search through settings, look for your phone number and see if it was verified. You have to have them call you and give you a code so that you can do it. Now, I have an Auto-Attendant, which I have to turn off so that I can receive the call. It's a pain, but it's worth doing one time. Google does it a little cleaner with a postcard. So what you see here is my number's been added. I've got some photos and what have you. Now, I've already done a webinar on setting up your photos, so we're not going to do that today. But the point is, my business is live on Google, and that's what you're going for. my hours of operation, my website. Now this website's going to get verified. They're going to see that you own that website. Now, if you have connected your website through Google Search Console, another one of their methods, then usually this is easier. So you want to do all the parts. When we bring on a new Ignite client or a new web client, we have a pipeline that sets up a variety of activities to make sure that all of these bits and pieces are done properly, because if we do that, then we don't miss any parts. And as the process builds, it gets easier, because once you authenticate with one part of Google, the other part says, oh, hey, you've already done the analytics, so we see you here, so we're going to go ahead and add your AdWords account. And then we're going to go ahead and let you become live on YouTube because you're trusted, and then we'll get your AdSense account going faster. And there's so many parts of Google, but the more you build with it, the easier it gets. Now, the thing that is critical about setting up your business is not that it's perfect. You do want to get it to where your business is live. You want to finish it. It'll tell you if something's missing. And you notice there's advanced info here. There's labels you can add. Store codes are if you have more than one location under the same brand, that type of thing. I don't need that. But you have to get to a point where at least it says that you are verified and your business should look like this. It's not telling you to add anything else or anything's missing or any warnings or anything like that. Okay? So that's key. And once you get verified, then you get your insights and your analytics and so on and so forth. Okay. How do you do it? So let's create a new location. So I'm going to click Add New Location. If you just logged in and you went to Google My Business for the first time, you could see right here just all this stuff, and you'd have nothing below here. Each one of these are a map of the locations that I've added and managed. Here's the plus button down here to add a new one. Same thing I just did. Hit plus, add a location, and this is import. So if you have a lot of locations, if you're Taco Bell and you want to add all of your locations, you could do that by importing them on a CSV. So I'm going to add a single location. And by adding a single location, I'm going to type my business name. Now watch what happens when I type 74 systems. It already knows I'm there. And I don't want to add that one again unless it's a separate location. Okay, so let's try 74 web. That's a good one. Let's go for it. And that one has a street address of 1187 Coast Village Road also. Suite 575, or you can put it down here as in the add line. That's actually new. Santa Barbara, you can see it's starting to show it on the map. California 93108. I think I've already done this one, so it'll be interesting to see if it lets me. I'm going to type in my phone number, which I have just for this purpose. Category, let's call it education. URL, no, I'm sorry, not for that. We want that to be web design. There we go. And the URL is 74web.com. I deliver goods and services to my customers at their location. Yeah, it's true, but I always leave this as no because I don't want to be a local business. And it's kind of weird how that works. To manage this business on Google, verify this information. Is it correct? Yes. I am authorized. I continue. And it did it. Now, what's really interesting is that it's going to mail me a verification code to finish it. So when I go and I look, I think what it did, interestingly enough, let's see if it's here, I'm refreshing. There it is, 74 web. Okay, so here's 74 web. I've already created it, but it didn't pick it up because it's 74 web websites that work. So if I go back and manage this location, you'll see this is what it looks like when you go back and edit it and it hasn't been verified. Big difference from verified. Okay. This is what it looks like before verified. This is after. So if you see that big red mark, you click the button, you put in the code, and you're verified. Now, I'm going to edit this because I think I did it wrong, and I'm going to change the name of it to 74 Web. I don't know why it didn't pick it up. Websites that work. I'm going to click apply. Let's see how smart Google is. I spelled the T lowercase on this one. It's interesting. I'm going to go ahead and go back to this location again, and I think I'll just delete it because, to be honest with you, I believe if I would have typed it wrong, if I would have typed it right the first time, it would have told me. Now, after a while, if you do this more than once and add more than one site, it sometimes will say, hey, wait a minute, we found somebody else out there with the same name. Are you the same person? And they'll do that based on your address, your phone number, the web URL, a variety of different things. One of my clients, Diane Herman, had a Google listing from some time ago, and when she went to create her new business brand and she had the same address, it wouldn't allow her to continue because it wanted to request the approval from the other account, and the other account was not owned by her email address. It was an old email address that she didn't have access to anymore. So she had to go through a painstaking process of reclaiming it so that she could eventually merge them together. So you want to be careful. I'm going to give you a couple of very important tips. Number one, when you register for things like this, register with an email address that you're going to use in perpetuity. If you are working for somebody, even if you own the company, and you have a company email address, and you use that to set things up like this, and for whatever reason, you sell the company and retire, you lose the company, you get fired, you get divorced, who knows what happens, God forbid, life changes. That email address is no longer something that you can access, and you are going to lose access to every account you set up with it. So I strongly recommend that you use a free Gmail account and back it up with a Yahoo account and do the free ones. Because if you do a paid account as your main email address for everything that matters and you don't pay it, or you can't pay it, your life crumbles. The free one will give you access in perpetuity, assuming the free remains free. And if it doesn't, change them all to a new free one. Just a recommendation. I, to this day, cannot log into a WordPress site that is on WordPress.com with my brand, my face, my name, everything, stories of my kids. I can't log in and modify it. And it is frustrating. Mail.com, it's interesting. Mail.com used to be part of a company here. It came out of Santa Barbara, California. Some very wealthy people. The founder of Sonos was involved in that as well. It's interesting. Okay, so adding yourself here is very important. Now, if I were to go and add QuickBooks, I would not be able to because QuickBooks LLC is my client and he's already in there. If I was going to add anybody that's already there, this is a great way to check and see if a name is available. Now, once you do all of this and you get verified, it's really cool because when you do a search and you find yourself here, and if I do that search, let's try that search on Safari and see what it gets. Okay, so that's what you're going to see on the outside when you're not logged in, because I'm not logged into Safari. So this is what you see if you search School of Bookkeeping, and I've got it all set up here, and this is really cool. So it doesn't take a lot of time, but be meticulous, and most importantly, do it. Okay. That was Google My Business. Get yourself listed. All right. We have another poll question for you. And this one is, and I just want to know, I don't know who you are, so don't worry, please answer. Okay, are you already listed on Google My Business? Have you done this? I just want to know Well, and you can pick more than one answer here. I thought it'd be more fun that way. Everybody vote, please. You guys are all reading them. I can feel it. Can you see the poll? Normally you guys answer. There you go. Okay, great. There must have been a slow hiccup. Okay, so yeah. So the majority of you are either confused or not sure, or haven't, maybe you did, but the name changed, not the name of your company, but the name that Google called it last week. I mean, it's tough. And, let's move on. And I'm going to show you how right you are when it comes to Google. I did a Google image search, and these are the Google Plus logos that showed up. I mean, come on. You think this company's got a brand image problem? Clearly not, because their stock just keeps going up and up and up, and they make more money. But wow. I guess when you're named Google, it doesn't matter. And yet this is the logo. I mean, it's really kind of blah, but that's the grown-up version of it lately, and it may not be today. I don't even know. All right, so the reason I'm showing you Google Plus is because what's important when you set up Google My Business, and we'll go back to My Business. And usually after that's done, you can go to your website, and let's go to School of Bookkeeping again, and we'll manage it. And in this case, you can set up, actually, let's go to one that doesn't have it. They all should. I don't know that I did one for this one yet. Let me look at Process Accountant. I did. I'm ahead of myself, sorry. Let's see if it'll let me do it for this one. It may not let me do it for this one because I don't have. Okay, so they're making it a little harder. It used to be a little easier to do it from here. And it's probably in here somewhere, and I'm not seeing it. But the point is you want to set up your Google Plus page for your brand. Now, this is very important you understand the distinction. You must set up your Google Plus page for your brand. It's kind of like Facebook page versus your Facebook wall. So if we go to Google Plus, and actually I'm going to do it an easier way. Remember, I'm going to go over here, logged in, and I'm going to go to Google Plus, and it's going to take me to some random Google Plus thing, and I'll click on Profile. And this is the Google Plus page for Eric Greenspan, the individual. Notice up here it says plus Eric Greenspan. Wasn't easy getting that set up, but it's there. I don't ever use it, so I have no followers. But when you click on it, my picture over here, you'll notice all of these brand accounts. Now, like Google My Business, these are related to your brand. So I'm going to click on all your brand accounts, and you get a similar kind of a layout, but it's vertical, of all the different accounts that you've set up as Google Plus tied to the brand that you created on Google My Business. So if we go to School of Bookkeeping, I believe it's the first one, you'll see, yeah, this one I just set up. So this is a new Google Plus brand page connected to School of Bookkeeping. Now, when I click here, you notice it says schoolofbookkeeping.com, and that's what's related to this Google Plus page. This is tricky, folks. It moves around, it bounces, it's really tricky. But you want to make sure that you distinguish between your brand page and your page. So if I go back to Eric Greenspan as an individual, my Google Plus page becomes mine, even though it says 74, but it is mine. Now, if I go to 74, which naturally isn't showing, but you can when you list them all, and then I click on it, and I click Profile, that's the actual 74 Systems one. Again, I just created this one also. I recreated all of mine recently because I changed my providers. Now you'll notice I put a lot of stuff on here because Google Plus is really just a license to spam. But what it's really good, the reason why you want to make sure you post all of your stuff to Google Plus when you're posting is because it's owned by Google. And what does Google do? They control search. They control the web. So the secret, again, is to pick your brand account. So whether you are dealing with School of Bookkeeping or your other company 74, but not you as an individual, and then you can create your brand account. And it's pretty, or you can create the Google Plus for it. Now, somewhere, these are all your brand accounts. So I think I have to go, and it created this one as a new one. Yeah, because it's not verified. So if I go back to School of Bookkeeping, okay, perfect. Now I have to go to me though, to create a new Google Plus. I can't see this, it's very complicated. Create a new, it's not here. So whenever this happens, because they change where the button is, how do I create a new Google Plus account for a brand account? And we'll go here, open up Google Plus, at the bottom left, click brands. Open up Google Plus. Okay. Done. And on the bottom, okay, isn't this fun? At the bottom of the left panel, click brands. No, this is the opposite direction. So here's the easy way. plus.google.com/pages/create. Somewhere that create link exists. And that's creating a new business account. I want plus. Plus.google. So what's happening here, I'll bet you anything, because I'm logged in, Google gets messed up. So I'm going to put it over here in a non-logged in browser. And then this one is going to allow it. So this one's asking me to go to Google My Business. So it's all going back to Google My Business. And when you click plus, you want to be able to create a Google Plus page. Let me try again. Create an ad, add new location, verify location, settings. You think they'd make it a little easier. And I'm guessing because it's not verified, it's not letting me, because usually it'll pop up and it'll say, do you want to create a Google Plus page? I'm going to keep looking though. I do this all the time, no matter how hard or how many times you've done this, you'll run into situations like this where you will be forced to go and hunt through Google. Discover home for an issue of help. Let's try one more time. Create a new brand account. Under act as account name, act as, click your account name. Okay, let's go back to it here. Let's go back to School of Bookkeeping brand account. And then let's click here. Manage account. Act as School of Bookkeeping. I guess because it's already set up. Let's keep reading. Right there. Right there. Sign into your brand account. Click on your account name. Under act as account name on, yeah, it's not there, folks. Okay, sign into your brand account. Let's go back to my brand account. Google My Business. locations, published, manage my location. Yeah. I'll have to find it and add it as an append to this because that is just really sad. Keep reading. Click on your account name. I did. Under act as account name, I did. You guys aren't. Click on your account name. Verified AdWords. Well, I would love to show you where it is, folks, but it is just not there. I'm guessing when you create a new one from scratch, it'll be there if I created a new account, but it's not showing to me because all of my accounts are already set up, and it should be, but it's not. Let me log out of everything and start over. Because I really wanted to show you this. Anyhow, the point is you need to make a Google Plus account for your brand business, and they're not making that easy for us. So I'm going to log in this way. Very dissatisfied. Why is it so hard to create a Google Plus brand page? You're welcome. Okay. Create a Google Plus brand page from my business. All right, let's see. Just our followers, much like Facebook Page Wizard. Wow. All right, so it's the same thing. A new brand account with a Google Plus page. At the bottom of the left panel, open Google Plus. At the bottom of the left panel, click brands. And as you can see, folks, there just simply is no brands. So there's not much you can do about it at this stage. It's just either not working or they've changed it or something else. Bottom of the left panel, click brands, create Google Plus, create a brand account. No clue. So we'll skip it and I'll have to come back and show you guys how to do it as a addendum to this. All right, so the same thing with YouTube. Once again, their logos have changed. I'm gonna ask you a quick poll question while that's happening. Do you have a Google Plus page for your business? Not for you, but for your business. And while you guys are answering that, I'm going to go look at one other quick thing here. Let's see what HubSpot has to say. How old is this? If we learn anything from creating your own account, it's that Google's Plus pages administrative capabilities could use improvement. Because of overwhelming user feedback, the Google Plus Your Business Google Plus page has indicated that Google Plus has already started working on multi-admin support and ownership transfer. Okay, so plus.google.com pages /create does not work. That creates a new business. So clearly there is a bug in the Google world right now. Nothing we can do about that. No matter what we do, it's going back to that. Now I'm going to clear my browser completely and try it again and see if that helps, but I'm guessing. Yeah, it's taking me to Google My Business. So this is a Google issue. not shocked. No matter what I do, it goes to the business rather than to Plus. Either Google is getting rid of Plus completely and we don't know it yet, or they're just having problems. So you're going to have to bear with us on that one. I don't know what to tell you. Not completely shocked. Okay, now let's talk about YouTube. Another monster, but it does work better. Now, back in the day, and I'm so glad I can tell you this, Google Plus and YouTube used to be the same connection. It was very frustrating because in order for you to do, hang on, let me get to my profile. Oh, and that's changed too. Okay, in order for you to create a Google Plus page, you had to have YouTube and they were connected and it was a big mess, and now you can do them separately, and I'm guessing that's part of the fallout we're experiencing here. So in this one, everything is new again. I'm going to switch. Now I can switch and manage any one of these YouTube accounts. If I click Add Account, it's going to ask me to sign in to a different YouTube. It's not going to allow me to create a new one. So in most cases, you would think that you would have to sign out of YouTube to do it, but I believe, so usually there's a little add to YouTube right here, but this one will be easier though, I promise. Everything is different though. Fascinating. Okay, I'm going to go back to, yes, let's restore old YouTube. No, I'm not going to go through that. So let's go back to my personal login. And let's Google this. Add a YouTube channel to a Google brand account. Sign in as owner of the brand account. Done. In the top right, click the account icon and select the channel you want to go to the channel list. Choose to create a new channel. Go to the channel list. Wow, you guys, you must be in a state of flux right now. Create or choose an existing. Go to the channel list. Okay, there it is. That was intuitive. So you can create a new channel here. And when you create a new channel there, it's going to be based on Eric at 74 Systems. So if I click create a new channel and I give it a name, I'm creating a brand account associated with my login. So if I wanted to create a channel just for 74 Web, I could do that. And it's pretty simple. Now, once you do that, you have to go into the settings, which they've now moved over to here. And you really have to get in, and there's this little click right here. View or change your account settings. Again, very intuitive. And nope, that's not the one. There it is, advanced and view additional features. That's the one. There it is. So view additional features is where you have to go to set up YouTube. And what's important is, again, you have to verify. You want to set up things like, and you can't set up monetization yet because you're not verified. You want to enable things like live streaming and the things that you can. Longer videos, big deal. You definitely want that. So if it'll let you enable it. Now, it's going to ask me to verify. and I'm going to tell it to text me, and I'm going to tell it to text me here. Now, it'll allow you to do this only so many times, and then it'll do that, because I have already used that cell phone for other accounts and it won't let me do it. So the other way to do it is to have them call you, which I can't do because it goes to Auto-Attendant. This is why I'm doing a webinar on this for you guys, because I got to tell you, it's a battle every single time. If you've ever heard me say, I hate Google, this is why. It is painful. And you have to go through this process. I mean, I used to have an extra cell phone just to deal with nuances like this. Then there's the defaults you want to set up. I don't do anything with featured content. I don't do anything with the watermarks. And then you can link other accounts in here as well and set up your country and put in your channel keywords and all that kind of stuff. But you just want to comb through here and get it all done. Now, one of the big things, okay, we want to go to the brand. And it's not going to let me verify that. This one is associated with 74 Web. That's not been branded yet. If I were to pick something like one of these brand accounts, first of all, you'll see how much of this is already set up here. I went through the painstaking process of doing it. It's worth it. And you won't be able to do all of it in the beginning. You have to get the parts that you need going, and then you continue. Like paid content, I don't need that. I have no idea what Super Chat is, but I'll look into it. Your URL, you've already claimed a custom URL. There it is. Content ID appeals. It's interesting. There's a lot of things you can get yourself in trouble with on YouTube. I knew a guy once who was banned from making money off of his YouTube videos because of things that were not done properly. And you can usually explain yourself and get yourself out of the situation. But at this point, try to do things right. Do not post videos of Britney Spears from a concert, because you will get in trouble. It'll get taken down, or they will start to sell Britney Spears, or what's her name? Taylor Swift. They will start selling Taylor Swift songs next to your videos, which is a real drag. And then let me explain to you what monetization on YouTube is. Monetization is when you have videos that people watch, you get paid, because advertisers will overlay videos on them if you allow them to. So if you make a video, I have a video on here that's how to pass an Excel test that was done some time ago, and it has hundreds of thousands of views. And it's worth a nice little chunk each month, auto-deposited in the bank, just for watching a 6 to 10 second video pre-watching the actual content. So that's what monetization is. Upload defaults are kind of cool if you want to always have the tags in your descriptions. Now, I always put my URL at the top. And then the description, I have this in Evernote, and I just copy and paste it in here for whenever, normally you would copy and paste it into the upload of the individual, but this automatically will add it to it. Now, I don't have a title because my titles are always unique. Allowing comments, most people do. Monetizing by default is not something I select. There's all kinds of things that are always changing and added to YouTube, so you need to come back here and check it out once in a while. Featured content is something that'll play automatically or at the end of a video, however you want. Watermarks or overlays, you don't want to use those. And then again, we were here earlier, advanced. So this could be linked to an AdWords account. It's not currently because I'm not doing any right now. It is linked to a website, and that is part of the verification process. And it is, and this is the last piece of today's puzzle, it is linked to an analytics tracking ID. How many of you, let me end this poll and add another one. Google Analytics. Your website has Google Analytics capabilities. Google Analytics are free. You have to set them up. You have to set up a Google Analytics account, and I cannot show it to you because that wouldn't be fair because my customer's data is in there. But you have to set up a Google Analytics account. And to do that, you go to google.com/analytics and you sign up for free. Or you can sign in with your Google account and then it'll tell you you don't have one. It'll ask you to sign up. And when you sign up for Google Analytics, it'll give you a couple of things that you need to add to your website. And this is not something I can show you in a workshop, but because it's tedious. You have to, you can get Google Analytics connected to your website quickly, but to really set it up right and do it right is a bit more challenging. What I want you to take away from this webinar today or this workshop today is that if you set up your Google Analytics and if you connect it to your website and other places where you want to track, the sooner the better, and set it and forget it. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want to, oops, I forgot to do that, and you had 6 months of marketing going on and you have no way to measure it and determine if it actually worked. And that's the case. Many people will do things with marketing and never get any return on their investment because they weren't able to measure it. Well, analytics is not everything, but it will tell you if people were clicking the link. It will tell you after they click the link where they went. It will tell you all sorts of stuff about the demographics and the behaviors of the people that you are engaging with. It will tell you whether or not they're converting. And a conversion can be as simple as clicking onto the next page. Let me show you something that I've been working on with my clients, and this is just an extra for you today. Before, when you used to click on free trial, it would take you to the checkout. Now, it takes you to a page like this. And let me refresh this page. You'll notice that the images are changing. The images are changing. It's all random. So I have different ads. And all this is a start your free trial. Enter your email address here, click continue to go. And when you do that, the concept of entering your email address here and then continuing on to buy from schoolofbookkeeping.com is the difference of getting the email address from the interested party, whether or not they complete their transaction. This step in the action will gather the email address of somebody who is potentially interested in doing business with you and got distracted because their kid's school called and they had to run off and go pick up a kid. Not that that's ever happened, right? So when you get distracted in life and you then get an email that says, hey, you left this in your shopping cart and you actually wanted it, you appreciate that. One of you, not anybody on this call, but somebody joined School of Bookkeeping last week from a shopping cart email that said, hey, you left this in the cart and didn't buy it, and they did. And that made us more money and it made their life easier. So we've built this system. Now, the reason I'm showing it to you is A, I love it. I think it's really cool. But B, because I can track this. I can track what's going on. Every time somebody clicks on this thing, the tool that I use is also connected to Google Analytics. You can connect MailChimp to Google Analytics. You can connect just about anything to Google Analytics to see what people are doing or what they're not doing. It's very important that you measure and gather information about what's working, what's not working. I want to know, and I can't tell you just yet because I just launched this, whether Terry or Carrie or Jay or Amanda or Terry again or me converts better. Now, I will tell you from history that Jay converts better. I don't know, maybe it's a smile, maybe it's zero, I'm not sure. I love Jay Kimmelman. Maybe everybody else does too. The only way to know is to track. Google Analytics The takeaway is set it up now, get it connected, make sure it's working, see the data. And worst case scenario, whether you use it today or not for a really long time, make sure it's set up so that you will have that data down the road if and when you need it. All right, so I've got a quick checklist for you. This is very important. So, are you set up on Google My Business as a brand? Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that now. And if you have more than one brand, make sure you set them all up. Also, if you have a marketing person, if you're working with me, for example, make sure you add that other person as a brand ambassador or as a manager in the user section, because that is going to allow them to get access and you don't have to give a username and password. And then make sure your Google Plus account is set up however that works. It should be straightforward when you create your new Google My Business. Is it attached to a YouTube account? Now, again, this is different from a standard YouTube account, different from your own personal YouTube account. This is all about brands, all about your brand having these things. And then we didn't show this, but there's another thing called Google Search Console, and you can just Google Search Console. And this is another place where you can log in with your Google accounts, and you can add the properties that you've been adding to, and a property is a web address. So your website address, if you added it to Google Analytics, you added it to YouTube, you added it to Google Plus, you added it to Google My Business, everywhere you've added that, you also want to add it to Google Search Console. Google Search Console is a very simple tool that allows Google to know you exist, and you can provide data to Google so that it can go out and it can spider your pages and determine if their links are good and if you've got accelerated mobile pages and all the things that Google likes to make sure your site's fast. It'll give you recommendations and errors, information on errors and bad links and all kinds of stuff. It's kind of a tracking system for everything that goes on your website, and you want them to have it because you want them to be able to give you that information so that you can maintain and control your web presence better. And then Google Analytics, which you really want to make sure you don't forget to set up properly. And there's one little trick in Google Analytics, two that are great. One is setting up goals. We may do a webinar on that, but it's a tedious process. The other one, though, is to set up an exclusion for your IP address. You can go into the Google Analytics settings and you can click on filtering and you can add your IP address as something not to track so that every time you do a vanity search or go to your own website, it is not adding up in your stats. Very useful. We've got a cool webinar coming for you, the value of partnering. I'm going to tell you some horror stories and some success stories. One right now, for example, is success. Angela and I are great partners. We work really well together. I have had other experiences in my life, and I'm going to share them with you to help you avoid some pitfalls of partnering. And coming up real soon, we are going to unbox 2018. Carrie Kahn, she's back. She's going to show you what's going on inside of that latest QuickBooks product. And don't forget, we have the second part of the Transaction Pro Advanced Training Workshop tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't paid for it, you can still go to Process Accountant and pay for it. It was great. Tomorrow's going to be even better. We're doing desktop tomorrow. And you can still get it, and you can watch the recorded session 1. We're also going to open up a group so that you can ask questions directly of Carrie even after the event. So it's a pretty cool deal. And then we've got one other one coming up as well on October 18th, after tax season is officially over. Diane Herman is going to talk to you about tax deferment. Now, these are clients of mine, and they're doing these webinars because these webinars are good for them. They're good for their presence. They're going up on YouTube, right? And they're also money drivers for them. So you'll learn a little bit about the webinar process for yourself. Our workshop on webinars got rescheduled, so you're going to see that coming up also. And then I'm really excited about this new course that we're working on. A number of experts are preparing short videos on what should be the answers to likely questions. We're not going to take the test and tear it apart and give you the answers directly, but most of what you will watch will be parts that you can pretty much rest assured are going to be on the exam, and they will answer them and help you get through the exam faster. That was mastering Google tools for marketing. I apologize for the Google Plus thing, but I don't apologize for Google. It is a challenging piece, and it's why we did the webinar. If you have any questions, you can email Eric at schoolofbookkeeping.com. You know how to find me most likely. Thank you for being here today. Any last minute questions? Don't see any. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys, I look forward to seeing you on our next schoolofbookkeeping.com event.